Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel's View. Today, we're going to be talking about Obsession. Yeah, it's been out. It's on week 4. It's been doing extremely well. It opened up in the box office, I think, at 16 million. Second week, it went up as far as money being made. Third week, it went up again. This week, actually, it went down by 7 to 9%. It's also considered one of the highest grossing horror films on the budget that the film was made for. Apparently, the film was made for less than $1 million, and right now it's already at. By this weekend, it will be crossing the 200 million mark. So that, first of all, is fantastic for a low budget horror film. What makes this film so, well, damn great? As a horror fan, I was anticipating this. I had been hearing so much about Obsession on from screenings and movie fests that had been held already since last year. So the anticipation I had for this was very high. I went in to go see it, and I was extremely, extremely overjoyed. I mean, it's the kind of horror film that, not that it reinvents, I should say, but it does bring a nice view to the horror genre. The story's simple. Boy in love with a girl who, from the beginning, seems like they're just friends, but he wants something more. He tries to figure out ways to bring up this type of relationship, try to ask her out, but he keeps chickening out. He thinks he has an in when he finds out that she's lost a particular precious gem to her, and he decides to go buy her another gem to replace that one. Instead of that, he ends up buying a sort of trick gimmick where you can make a wish, and that wish is supposed to come true. Now, mind you, he was going to give this to her, but on what you would call a pseudo type of date between them, and having a conversation where he's about to admit his feelings or discuss his feelings with her, he chickens out. And as she's walking to her front door, he breaks open this wish. He makes the wish to basically have her be the only one that loves him. And instantaneously, it takes effect. You see her react because she doesn't even enter her apartment. She goes back to the car. She goes around to his side and basically gets him to come inside, where, she wants to take it to the next level. Again, what ends up happening after the wish is where things start getting interesting, because yes, she does fall for him. And she becomes obsessed with him to the point that it's almost like, why would I even want this? Why would anybody want this? It's shocking the way everything ends up happening, and the rabbit hole you go down when you realize that something that you wanted so much, so deeply, ends up becoming one of the worst things that you've ever done. There's been a lot of conversations back and forth about who is the villain of this movie. Obviously, the character of Nikki, played by Indy Navarrete, who used to be in the TV show Superman and Lois. She was great in that show. She is proving that she is probably one of the next scream queens, horror icons, as far as portraying the character of Nikki in the film. The person that makes the wish, which is Bear, his name is Michael Johnston. And Michael Johnston plays this, average guy. He's an average guy. He's a guy who's in love with this girl. He wants to be with her, and he just doesn't know how to break through. Making this wish turns his world upside down. Again, Nikki starts acting like that clingy, jealous girlfriend that, eventually, you have to break up with her because it's not worth it. But what does Bear do? He allows this to continue. And this is where the controversy is like, is Bear the villain of this movie? Because instead of stopping it, he lets it continue. I mean, the things that Nikki does that would cause any normal person to like flee, run away. He accepts it because he wanted to be with her so much. But it begins to trickle out into the rest of his life. His two best friends that he's known for years, they notice there's something wrong with Nikki. What's going on with Nikki? And he can't explain it because then he's going to be admitting to the fact that he basically wished her to be in love with him. And well, again, it continues to go down this slope where it escalates and it escalates until this extremely very comes out of nowhere situation happens near the end. On top of that, the actual ending of the film, it gets to the point where Bear decides he needs to figure out how to break this wish. He goes back to the store where he bought the gimmick, the wish fulfillment box, and asks how he could get out of this. And the owner of the store, or the person who's there at the moment, basically says, "What did you do?" It's like, oh, what did you do? There's a point in the movie where he actually makes a phone call to the customer service line of the gimmick, and has a very very nonchalant conversation with the person on the other side, who happens to be the actual director of the film, Curry Barker. This is the only time you hear him. You don't see him in the film, unlike his previous works where he actually stars in them. The conversation is very simple and it's very direct. Basically, the guy tells him, well, the only way out of this wish is if you're gone. Basically letting Bear know that he either has to take his own life or he has to die so that this wish could stop and that Nikki could come back to normal. There is a very slight play on the supernatural, especially during the phone call. The phone call lets you know that there's a possibility that poor Nikki is, well, basically in hell. At least that's what I got from it when I watched it. When you see the movie, you can make that decision. Again, it's a wish, and wishes come with their entanglements. As they always say, be careful what you wish for. And that's exactly what happens in this movie. The ending of the film, it just culminates into this really crazy situation, and it does not end well for a lot of people. That's what I will say. I'm not going to spoil any of it because you have to go in and watch Obsession with that open mind. This is a horror film that does reinvigorate the genre. Hence the reason that for the last 2 weeks, it's gone up in box office. People have been talking about this film. People are talking about the actors. People are talking about the director. Curry Barker comes from YouTube. He has made several short films on YouTube. His most famous one is Milk and Cereal. Yeah, or Cereal and Milk. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but you can look it up. I did watch it, and you could see some of the beginnings of what or how this film Obsession came to be. It's not one of those kind of horror films that it's constant. It's not even jump scares. It is the dread, the feeling that you get seeing Nikki just basically disintegrating into this obsessed person, this obsessed girlfriend, and how Bear reacts to it. By the end of the film, you're going to make that decision. Is Bear the bad guy? I got to tell you, you feel for Nikki. And after the ending sequence, you're going to like, how's this person ever going to come back from any of this? So Obsession is a definite thumbs up from me. I don't really do a numerical scale as far as ratings. It's either a yes or no kind of thing for me, or it's just fine. But if I had to, I would definitely say that Obsession is a strong 9. Definitely recommend it if you're a horror fan. You want something different, something new, something that will make you have conversations, not only because it's horror, but also how it is. How does it make you feel about a person wanting something so much that they're willing to, well, almost sacrifice a person's soul for it? So once again, this has been Angel's View. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. And are you going to go see Obsession? Have you seen Obsession? Definitely high on my list. So hope to see you all again soon. Bye.